Let me take you back in time. Around 10 years ago. It was my first year of university. I know that here many of you there can relate with me. There's so many changes, everything is exciting, and especially for me that I was coming from a small island like Aruba, coming to big Europe was wow! Was mesmerizing, so many changes. And we all know that one of our basic survival instincts is to socialize. And in order to make that transition, that first year of university, more bearable, we should socialize. Make new friends, new acquaintances, go to different kind of social events, parties, dinners, etc. Well, for me it was different. There was a part of my personality that was becoming an obstacle for me to achieve that. I was the kind of person that really didn't think before he spoke. So I was seen as cocky and as somebody that didn't have feelings. And I realized that I knew that I needed to change. So I took that part of my personality and I suppressed it, I rejected it, and I hid it really deep in my unconsciousness. And it became part of my shadow. According to Carl Jung, the shadow is the part of our personality that we always will try to reject and repress due to life experiences, social conditioning, and many other factors. Betrayal, Carl Jung argues that betrayal generates pain, and that pain is really hard to accept if we don't accept our own shadow. Once we embrace our shadow, we will get to know that the same way other people hurt us, we can also do that to them. Therefore, it will make us more aware of other people's feelings. We will get to empathize more with other people. So how do we embrace our shadow? I'm going to mention a couple of examples on how to do it, but I highly recommend to search professional help in order to begin that path. The first one will be to be compassionate. Being compassionate with ourselves is basically being our own best friends. Compassionate about the fact that sometimes we will have thoughts about hurting others or about hurting ourselves. And that's okay. We should accept that we are human. Removing the shame. Every time we have those thoughts that don't go according to social norms or that don't go according to what we believe we are, instead of feeling of shame and, oh, I shouldn't think like that, we should let it go. When we commit mistakes, instead of being hard on ourselves, we can even laugh at ourselves of being so silly. And that will empathize, that will grow the empathy for our own feelings and for others' feelings. Another example would be to do an honest self-reflection. Being honest with ourselves of our good aspects and of our bad aspects. One possible exercise will be writing down all the good aspects that we believe we have and coming to the realization that the opposite can be true. Embracing our shadow can take even years with the right help. And sometimes we are not even aware of our own shadow because we have we have rejected it so much that sometimes we come to believe that it doesn't even exist. But one of the main reasons that we should embrace it is because if we don't do that, instead of enjoying this beautiful life, we will transform it in a constant battlefield. So coming back to my story of the Nando that really didn't think before he spoke, so he spoke everything he thought right at the moment, I'm going to tell you something. Let's embrace our shadow. Let's embrace our shadow. Let's be compassionate with ourselves. Let's do an honest self-reflection. And let's remove the shame. Let's accept that we're human. Because if we don't accept our shadow, we will live in a world full of madness and illusion. And instead of enjoying this beautiful life, we will transform it in a constant battlefield. So please, let's all embrace our shadow.